I will be talking to you today about a hobby that I have enjoyed for about as long as I can remember. I don't have much time to do it now, but it is one of my favorites. It's sculpting. It's a form of artwork. From pictographs to Andy Warhol and the pop art movement, art has been around for centuries, as long as anybody has ever known that people existed that could make art. Today, sculpting is the main topic, and there are 4 techniques that involve sculpting. There's carving, modeling, casting, and assembling. The first one I'll talk to you about is carving. Basically, carving is when you cut or chip away at a mass of stone, wood, or other hard material, according to the J. Getty Museum. It isn't as easy as it sounds. This sculpture in particular is about 7 feet and 5 inches. It's made of marble, and Bernini sculpted it basically by himself. And especially in those times, I believe that's Renaissance period, and he was amazingly detailed in a work that was so much bigger than him. I mean, I don't know about you, but I could not imagine sculpting something that was like twice the size of me. And the next technique is casting. Casting is basically when you melt down something into a mold to make something else. Substances include like metal or I suppose like really hot plaster for cement molds. Casting is basically how coins are made. So basically there's a clay model of whatever coin that you want to make. You pour the metal into the model, which is obviously bigger than the coin size, and then it makes kind of like a durable rubber mold is made from the plaster mold, and then you move it to the transfer engraver. This machine engraves the coin to make it look like whatever design we have on it. The next technique is modeling. Modeling is probably the most common form of sculpting that you've heard of. It's when you get that ball of clay and you mold it into something pretty. It's when there's not just clay, there's other substances that you can use, but anything that is like kind of wet and then you have to mold it, and usually you have to put it in a kiln, fire it afterwards, to put it at a very hot temperature so that it'll harden and it'll be like just as breakable as glass, pretty much. This example is another of Bernini's. It's terracotta clay, which is kind of like, I believe it's from Mexico. And it's just a reddish brownish clay. And he used this to kind of model his sculptures before they were bigger. Next one is assembling. This one is a human sculpture made of rock by the artist Duncan Elliott. Assembling is basically when you have smaller parts and you put them together to form something bigger. The pop art movement was greatly influenced by assembling. People were always getting random trash, putting it together, and making it look like art. And sometimes it was art. It was fairly beautiful. This is probably my most interesting hobby just because of how intricate the roots are to this. Artwork has been around for forever, and it's in everything. It's in promotional ads, it's in buildings as far as architecture. And if I had not used art, then I would probably not have anywhere to let my creative juices flow. Well, thank you.